now heading on into the next game. In the 10 o'clock, in the orange for Kingz, taking down one player. Can he take down the next one? Can he take down two more players and win the series for Kingz? It is the ace, Bomber. But now he's facing his very formidable opponent, the Grandmaster, in the bottom. In the red for Inaequalis. Can he take the series for his team? It is Nolimit, the red Zerg. Right now, this is going to be pretty difficult for Bomber, I'm not going to lie. This is going to be very, very difficult to be able to beat someone, especially on a map like Goda. I don't know if he can do it. I mean, Nolimit, he's played quite some games and he has a pretty decent win rate. He's got 55%, so I don't know, and he's got a higher rank. It's not to say that we completely cut off Bomber, because he's got an interesting style. First off, that can actually really throw off your opponent. On top of that, Bomber is pretty good at this matchup himself, so I think it's actually going to be a pretty even game. On top of that, Nolimit, he is very good, but he's not that highly ranked in the Grandmaster League, so he does have a chance. He has small hope. See if he can actually do it or not. Wow, he's actually going to go for an early pool. So I assume he is thinking, oh, my opponent is going to go for a Reaper Fast Expand, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to make 6 Zerglings go across the map and kill his command center. Which would happen in a normal TVC, but this is Bomber TVC. Bomber TVC doesn't have... Well, actually, he's going to lose it anyway, because, I mean, he makes the command center low ground without any units, with just a Marine. This build order by Nolimit is a complete counter to Bomber. I think Bomber just dies. How's he gonna... He's gonna lose this command center. On top of that, he has no way to defend it. At least with a Reaper, you can micro against those slow Zerglings. With a Marine, you can't. So yeah, this is a complete build order counter. Oh wow, he didn't make those Zerglings. What? Wow, he didn't actually make the Zerglings. That actually really sucks for Nolimit. I guess he's just playing as safe as possible, as opposed to build order countering. Okay, there we go. He's gonna produce 2 Lings. I mean, honestly, just imagine 6 Zerglings walking across the map right now. Like, what does Bomber do? What does Bomber do? I guess he might have 3 Marines, but that against 6 Zerglings is still, that's actually quite a lot. Okay, looks like the Marine from Bomber is gonna move in and pick off, or at least ward away this Overlord. No Overlord's in good spots for Nolimit though. He's not going to have any scouting information, and he needs that vitally against Bomber, because there really isn't... the way Bomber plays, you really want to have as much scouting information as humanly possible. He is going to try and get those Zerglings in and try and get some scouting information with those, but he won't have an Overlord to sacrifice. This Overlord, he has a long road ahead of him. He has to go all the way over there, and this Overlord is not going to even scout anything coming out of the main. Like, I'd even put this Overlord like right there, just to be able to see if there are any units leaving. Looks like a 3rd command center is going to start from Bomber. He's playing this even more macro-y than he usually does. Extremely greedy build out of Bomber. And what is going to be Nolimit's reaction? I mean, he's got speed on the way. He stopped mining gas, which is what usually happens. Is he actually going to go into a 3rd base now is the question. Okay, there we go. Reactor is going to start for Bomber. And oh no, he's going to lose an SCV. If he's not too careful, he is going to... Oh, barely loses that SCV. But does take some damage on those Zerglings. There we go. Nolimit right now. He's only got a single Queen right now and is natural for creep spread. Couple more drones finishing up. He's probably going to take his 3rd very, very soon. Bomber's 3rd's almost done, so he's going to be very far ahead economically. And right now, it looks like he might actually even go for a Speedling Flood. Like, the Hellions haven't even started right now for Bomber. Only for 40-50% done is the Hellion, is the factory. So you won't have Hellions out on the map for a very long time. And before Hellions, Speedlings roam the map. They're the dominant species right there. Looks like Speedlings. There is a complete option right now. We'll see as soon as this Larva Inject pops if he goes for that or not. He even has the Bending Nest almost done. By 6 to 7 minutes is when you see Hellions out on the map. And right now, Bomber, he hasn't even started. Wow, he's going to go for that tank style this time. Going to be extremely defensive. Not going to get those Hellions out. So right now, obviously, there is no reason not to make Zerglings for Nolimit. He could deny the 3rd for a very long time. And looks like, oh, he tries to get run by with that Zergling. Doesn't get through. He knows that the 3rd base is not taken for Bomber. Right now, the worst thing for Nolimit is he has absolutely no idea about this third base. So he can't drone up his own third base. It would be too risky. So he's forced to make Zerglings. He cannot actually, if he doesn't make these Zerglings, he might just die. So it's the only way Bomber actually loses this game now is if he moves out too early to take his third base. If he's out of position, because he doesn't have Hellions, he won't see these Zerglings coming from by far. So if his tank is caught off guard, he will lose the game. He will lose all of his army. So he has to be very careful when he's taking this third base. He did produce that single tank. It's just gonna siege up right there. It looks like the Zerglings are gonna start moving across the map. He's producing even more, and these, I don't know if this is gonna work or not. Bomber, he has absolutely no idea this is coming, but he's already got a tank out. That tank is gonna be huge, absolutely huge. Bomber's Marine though, that is, oh no, Bomber's Marine is just so close to spotting this. If only he had one more tank, he could easily be able to clean this up, but I think that, I'm not sure who's gonna win this. It's all gonna come down to the micro. Is Bomber gonna be able to defend versus this? He doesn't have any more bunkers in position. The Banelings are gonna go first. No! No, the tank! Oh, he hits the weakened Baneling. Oh, he's gonna try and... that's actually huge. He can just lift up this supply depot and he should be fine. That's not a lot of Zerglings right now in the natural for Bomber. He could actually take this game. I mean, look at the worker count. It's 40 to 38. He's got that third command center. He has mule production. These lings are going to get cleaned up. That's more than enough Marines right now for Bomber. He lost quite a few workers for that. And workers were produced at the back of this for Nolimit. And he's got the third base getting saturated very soon. He has the lair on the way as well. No 1-1. This is the big part right now for Bomber. He's got the upgrade advantage very soon. So he will have that going for him. But he did take severe economic losses. So Nolimit, he did pretty much exactly what he had to do. He had to kind of attack right there, because if he didn't attack and Bomber decided that he wanted to play completely macro based, which is what Bomber wanted to do, he would have had those units and they would have been completely useless. Those links wouldn't have done anything for him. And if he didn't produce those Zerglings, he would have probably died to a 2-base attack, which is what Bomber could have done because he didn't know about the third command center. So right now, Bomber is slightly behind. Unfortunately, he had the units in place, but he just didn't know about it in time. There we go, a double medevac drop gonna come in by Bomber. His combat shield is just now starting, so he's not gonna have that in this fight, but he will have Stimpack, so he still has some option to do damage. He's also got the 1-1 gonna complete it, so he has potential. We'll see if he can do anything. Stimming up, and he's gonna try and do something. He's gonna get 2 queens. Most of these links are gonna get back off, but I mean, I don't think that's gonna be enough. That's not enough links at all in that position. If he gets this third base, oh my god, that is huge! Oh, the links wrap around. He's targeting the third. He's not gonna get that with the transfuse available right there. Looks like Bomber, he's gonna try and clean up as many links as possible, and he's just shredding apart those Zerglings. Oh no! He almost got the second Baneling. Really nice targeting by Bomber, but he doesn't get the second Baneling in time. And right now, back at home, he does have quite a few bio left over. He's got that third command center, but he's not trying to land that at his third base. Looks like he's gonna try and pick off this fourth. Probably not gonna happen. There are Zerglings in production, and he's already got quite a few Zerglings right there. There's only 3 Marines. They don't even have combat shields. He should be able to pick those off easily. That fourth probably gonna survive this. Let's see, Bomber, he really needs to take his third. There we go, finally gonna try and take his third base now. The important thing to note here is that the medevac survived. He's got away with both of those medevacs, and he did a lot of damage. Like, if you look at the units lost stats, look at that. That is absolutely huge in favor of Bomber right now. Only 17 Marines were killed versus 80 Zerglings, so he has a lot of good units right now in the field, and he's done a lot of damage to the army of Nolimit. So Bomber still, he has the army going for him, and he's got the upgrade still. He doesn't actually have 2-2 finished yet. Never mind. This 2-2 is only 50% done. He doesn't actually have a huge Vitamin count either. He's only got that 1 tank out. He didn't actually produce any more Vitamines. He's gonna need to get Vitamines. He has no splash damage at all. I don't actually know how he's gonna deal with the Baneling Ling. The centrifugal hooks isn't done though. So he could easily pick off those Banelings. Like, if he takes a off-creep engagement, he will just get absolutely annihilated. The third finally gonna get saturated for Bomber. He has taken the offensive third base right there, and looks like he's gonna try and move in. Centrifugal hooks is nearly done right now for a Nolimit. That upgrade is going to decide everything. A couple of drones transferring. Those are going to get picked off immediately. Really nice position right now for Bomber. He needs to stay around here. That's a very nice spot. Choked up, no creep. There's even a cliff to abuse. He sees all of the banelings though. He's gonna try and move in. He's gonna split on top of the creep. This is a horrible area for Bomber. But those splits are just so amazing. Oh my god, Bomber. He's gonna annihilate that. And he's gonna pick off the rest of the Mutalisks. He is actually going to take this engagement. He's gonna take down the 4th base. Very well done out of Bomber. Extremely well done. 40 lings are on the way though. He is going to pick off that 4th base. The 3rd base was also pretty low. It's halfway in terms of health. So he could easily go to the 4th and try and pick that off. Or the 3rd base. He's already picked off the 4th. 2-2 is done for Bomber. 2-2 is only done 80% for the Zerg player. So the engagements are just going to be absolutely abysmal. If he fights only with Zergling Mutalisks, he needs those banelings. Those banelings, they're only 4 banelings and they're not even close to finishing. Those are going to get picked off immediately. And Bomber's going to take down the 3rd base. And once this base falls, this is nigh on impossible for the Zerg player to come back from. He's got another base coming in, but that's not even close to finishing. And this engagement, this timing out of Bomber, this 2-2 timing is just going to be so brutal. And Nolimit, he has to tap out.